A lot of people, when they think how to fill up a sketchbook, they think of the subject matter and ideas of what to actually fill up a sketchbook with. But what I realised for me was that the actual type of sketchbook that I was using was a big factor in whether or not I was actually filling up those sketchbooks. And I'm only speaking from my personal experience. My views on this may change in the future, but because I've seen such a positive change, I'd be pretty reluctant to go back to the way that I was sketchbooking previously. Often I feel like social media only shows perfect, aesthetically pleasing looking sketchbooks, which is absolutely fine if that works for you, but for me it just puts so much pressure on having to create a final perfect image. The pressure of sitting down and having to produce something like a finished piece every single time just wasn't sustainable for my own art practice. I just ended up not using my sketchbook. The one change that I made to start actually filling up sketchbooks was just buying the cheapest, thinnest sketchbooks. For example, these Hobbycraft own brand ones, which you can get in the UK, things like Jackson's Art or Cass Art as well, because it just completely takes away the pressure of having to create that perfect final image. Some of my sketchbooks fall apart, that's just kind of part of it. They can be crushed, folded, it doesn't matter because they're just purely for experimentation and playing with materials. They're not these precious items that I feel like they are portrayed to be on social media a lot of the time, which again is absolutely fine because we like to look at aesthetically, pleasing things. Maybe you could have a sketchbook for that specifically and then a sketchbook that is more for experimentation. But for me, most of my sketchbooks are just purely for that experimentation side. Once there was no pressure to create a final perfect image, my drawings loosened up a lot more. I think I improved a lot more because you're making that quantity of drawings that you weren't doing before, because I think there's a saying where it's like for every 10 drawings there's only one good one, or only one that you like and are happy with. But if you're not actually making those other 9 bad drawings, then you're not going to get to that one that you're happy with. So that's why I went for these like kind of cheaper sketchbooks, so then I didn't feel precious over the final result. It was more about the process, and consequently you're producing a bigger quantity of drawings. Actually, I ended up having more to post about as well because I was just creating more, which made me feel like I wasn't creating for Instagram. I just had stuff to post. I also started drawing from life a lot more. There are artists out there who make a living out of drawing things that other people would view as like mundane or overlooked. Getting outside and in nature, especially if you can, really inspires me to draw. I'll take my art supplies outside and I'll sit and draw, because then you always have something around you to draw, even if you just sat on your desk. Just starting is the hardest part, I think, because that is the most difficult part. For me, I started using textured backgrounds, which took away that fear of the blank page. I know there are a lot of other artists who do this. I use these markers that are basically just big acrylic paint markers that you can get really nice textural results from. Starting off with that kind of expressive mark making way of working, got rid of that fear of the blank page and made it easier to start. If I am struggling for what to draw in terms of subject matter, I sometimes use copyright-free image websites such as Pexels or Unsplash, or I just take my own photos to use as reference, which I tend to do a lot. I thought for the rest of the video I would do a very quick, very loose sketchbook spread. Most of the drawings that I've done before the sketchbook spread I wasn't that happy with, but it doesn't matter because it's a sketchbook and it's figuring out what works and what doesn't work. I actually love cats, but I just find them so hard to draw. And I'm not saying this one is perfect by any means, but it was fun to do, and I quite like the combination of the orange and green. I think that's maybe a colour combo that I will use more often in the future as well. Yeah, I'll just let the rest of this video play out basically. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.